Man, haven't been on in a minute, but I'm glad to be back. Come on in, come on in. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit to get in here before we get started. How many people are gonna be on? Because I haven't done a live in a minute. I apologize for that, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? What's up with you, Scott? Man, Libra love. What's up, family? Rules of engagement. That's what we're talking about. Rules of engagement. Family, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Um, Man, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for your love, your support. Man, we're gonna do another live tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Um, Paul, what's up with you? Man, we're talking about rules of engagement. Rules of engagement. Um, King James Version, what's up? Hey, excuse me. Can you close this window, please? I'm sorry, family. Breeze is blowing through and it's like loud echo. Thank you. Rules of engagement. Rules of engagement. Man, I was watching a movie earlier, Lone Survivor. Lone Survivor. It came out years ago, and I've seen it before. C Dub, what's up with your family? Um, C Dub. Hey, I want to talk about that one day. I'm gonna make a video about that and how to kill people softly. I'm gonna make a video about that, babe. If you could write that down for me. How to kill people softly. I think C Dub put a comment up there. I want to make sure that we do a video on that. I want to probably do that either tomorrow or next week. Rules of engagement. I saw this movie a while back. I think Mark Wahlberg is in this movie, and it's a true story, based on true story about these Navy SEALs who go to Afghanistan, and they have the potential to take out some terrorists, if you will, and they capture some people. They run across some people. They're getting ready to go in for the what's up with you, Jacob? They're getting ready to go in to engage, and they're just scoping out the area. And these young kids and this elderly guy, they're watching the sheep and just sheep herders, and they stumble upon these guys, these Navy SEALs, and so they, strap them down, tie them up, and everything. And they're going back and forth. Man, what do we do with this guy, with these people? Do we go in and just kill them? Because if we kill them, man, we violated rules of engagement. Or do we go in and go ahead and just cut them loose and let them go? You know, if we let them go, man, all those that army down there, about 200 guys are gonna be on us. And are we gonna make it out of this? You know, these guys have just killed 20 something Marines the week before. You know, we're going to miss our target. We're going to miss this opportunity to attack this one guy, to get this one guy who's solely responsible for killing 20 Marines if we let these people go. Um, just a second, babe. Can you give me my bag, please? I forgot to get something out of it. Um, and so, rules of engagement. And so, Geneva Convention, man, and not just Geneva Convention, rules of engagement for American soldiers. Man, you could not fire, you could not kill these people. And and so they were stuck. You know, what were they going to do? You know, and they're arguing and fighting with each other about what to do with these guys um, that they just kidnapped. They're not kidnapped, but just caught this terrorist group. And so I just want to show you guys something real quick. I had to grab my stuff. So this is my Geneva Convention card. Um, when I was in the Air Force, I was a medic years ago when I was young. You know what I mean? And so, and it's a trip because nobody really follows that Geneva Convention. We're talking about rules of engagement, and I'm gonna bring it back to life. Just stay with me. And so, nobody really follows Geneva Convention except quote unquote American soldiers and British soldiers, people like us. You know, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And so, but the enemy doesn't follow these rules. You know, and so our soldiers are at a disadvantage. Our soldiers are at a disadvantage. This is not just about soldiers. Stay with me. And so when you're at war, man, there are no rules. There should be no rules when you're at war. Stay with me because nobody follows rules except for us. You know what I mean? And so that puts our soldiers at risk. And so these guys are sitting there, they're arguing about what should they do with these two people. And they weren't kids, they were soldiers, trained killers, you know? What do they do with these people, you know, who didn't have weapons on them? Should they take them captive? Should they release them? Or should they kill them? They released them and let them go. And the young kid ran down there, got the whole troop, got their whole brigade up, and they came looking for these Marines. Or not Marines, but Navy SEALs. And they ended up killing 3 of them, right? Mark Wahlberg was shot up real bad. I think he had like 3 or 4 shots to him, badly injured. And why am I talking about that? What has that got to do with life? A lot of times we make rules, or not rules, we make decisions. And we think they're the best decisions. Because we're going by old standards, we're going by quote unquote rules of engagement that are not in our best interests. They sound good, but they're outdated dogma, they're outdated doctrine. What am I talking about? So often, us in the spiritual movement, so often some of those that think, man, I'm trying to get better, I'm trying to work on me, and we think that, man, we have to be nice to people. We have to allow people to dog us out. We can't have healthy boundaries. We can't do what's in our best interests. We can't do what's best for us. Because we've been taught, man, you got to keep giving and giving and giving and giving. You got to be nice. You got to be loving and compassionate and all this other stuff. You got to be a doormat. And that's what Christianity has pretty much taught us. You know, man, if they slap you, turn the other cheek. I'm going to let you know right here, right now, live. You slap me, you do something to my queen, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's over. You know what I mean? I'm not putting up with no bullshit. I don't give a damn what your Bible tell me. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn what your religious beliefs are. You're not going to just put your hands on me. You're not going to look like you're going to put your hands on me and walk away with that. Because I promise you, when I get done, you'll think about putting hands on somebody else. You'll think highly about whether or not you should put hands on somebody else. We have to grow up. And as a man, it is your responsibility to protect your queen. I don't give a damn what society tell you. I don't give a damn if they tell you that that's outdated. I don't care if they tell you that that's chauvinistic or unmanly and all that other stupid stuff that they talking about nowadays. Man, chivalry ain't dead to me. You know what I mean? Chivalry is not dead. You have to be able to protect your loved ones. You have to be able to protect yourself. Stop being a doormat and allowing people to use you and abuse you just because they quote unquote family, just because they quote unquote belong to your church or your religious group. You know what I mean? You have to stand up for yourself. You have to love yourself and value yourself enough to say, oh, hell no, I'm not putting up with your games. And there's so many people that are in toxic relationships, and you keep allowing people to mistreat you, cuss you out, dog you out, call you all outside your name, just run you through the freaking dirt. And you keep taking them back. You keep allowing people to mistreat you. What in the heck is wrong with us to where we become so docile and such punks in life to where we just allow people to just keep dogging us out? What's up with you, Scorpio lady? What's wrong with our mentality? What's wrong with our perspective? To where we just allow people, and we know they dogging us out. We know they cheating on us. We know they ain't looking out for us. We know they ain't got our best interests at heart. And we keep allowing ourselves to be used and abused and dogged out by family members. We keep allowing ourselves to be used and abused by our quote unquote friends. We keep allowing ourselves to get dogged out by people that say they love us and we're married to or whatever the case may be. Damn all that, family. Damn all that. You have to grow up. You have to grow up. One of the things that I struggled with as a kid was that you're taught, man, that joy is an acronym for Jesus, others, and yourself last. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say it again. They told me as a kid that joy, you only got joy when you put Jesus first, when you put others second, you put yourself last. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? That's bullshit. You better put yourself first. And what do I mean put yourself first? You better love yourself. You better value yourself to where you're not putting up with no negative stuff. You're not putting up with their dogmatic crap. You're not putting up with somebody disrespecting you and dogging you out, but because you're a Christian, because you're this, because you're that, you just keep allowing them to mistreat you. You keep allowing them to put hands on you. No, the devil is a lie. Love yourself. You can't love yourself and allow somebody to cuss you out. You can't love yourself and allow somebody to mistreat you and beat you down emotionally and to run you through the dirt and just dog you out. That's not love. That's not love. Been taught to love everybody else, and we've never been taught how to love ourselves. We're talking about rules of engagement. We've been taught how to go to war, but we've never been taught how to live in peace with ourselves. We've been taught how to kiss everybody else's ass, how to make everybody else happy, how to go all out for everybody else. But what about me? I'm dying within trying to make you happy. I'm dying within trying to make you comfortable and all this other stuff, to kiss your ass, bend over backwards for you and all this other stuff to do for you, but ain't nobody doing for me. I'm giving my all to everybody else. And at the end, I'm broke, busted, and disgusted. And when I need help, ain't nobody around. All the people I've given my last to, ain't none of them talking to me. Ain't none of them responding to my text messages. Ain't none of them calling me back when I need help. We have to grow up and understand there's rules of engagement to life. There's rules of engagement. In order to reach your full potential, you have to grow up and love yourself. You have to grow up and put yourself first and foremost. That doesn't mean you become narcissistic or arrogant and selfish. That just says, hey, I love me to whether anybody else love me or not. I'm going to do for me. I'm going to take care of me. Because I love me, I'm going to make sure I'm good. Because I know I ain't got anybody else to depend on. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to take care of my emotions. I'm going to take care of my health. I'm going to take care of myself financially. Why? Because I know I can't depend on anybody else. Rules of engagement. I have to learn to value me. Why? When I learn to value me, when I learn to love me, I teach everybody else, hey, this is the standard. If you're not coming with this right here, if you're not coming and you're going to love me at this level and treat me at this level, you can't stop at this residence. You can't stop and conversate with me. Keep moving. I'm not the one for you. We teach people how to love us, how to value us by how we love ourselves, quote unquote, love ourselves. If you don't love you, if you don't value you, you're teaching and telling everybody else, man, they don't need to value you. You're telling everybody else they don't have to respect you and cherish you because you're not cherishing yourself. You're not valuing yourself. Women, if you got a guy that's in your life or you have somebody in your life and they're cussing you out and they're mistreating you, that's your fault. Dudes, if you got some woman in your life and you know she's cheating on you and you know she ain't no good in that regard, she's robbing you and she's just running you through the dirt and all, and you know she ain't no good, that's your fault. That's your fault. And what I mean by it's your fault, the first time it happened, now I'm going to check you on it. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not accepting this. If it happened again, I'm out. If you cheat on me once, I'm out. You know what I mean? You disrespect me, I'm out. I ain't got to deal with your bullshit. I don't have to deal with your negativity and your drama. I'm not so quote unquote lonely that I have to just allow you to do this just to have somebody in my life. And most of us, truth be told, we accept this bullshit because we're so freaking lonely. We accept this toxic, negative lifestyle because we're so lonely and we don't love ourselves. So we allow this person in our life that's mistreating us and disrespecting us and slapping us and doing all the calling us outside our names and we allow these people to dog us out Because, man, I'd rather them dog me out and then come back and apologize. And, they promise they won't do it again. And we'll do all this other stupid stuff. Oh, he just loved me and I just made him mad and he just had a bad day. Damn all that. No, 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 no. Cut them off. Cut them off. Because you keep taking them back. You're telling them you could do whatever you want to me. You could do whatever you want to me. You could treat me any kind of way. You could mistreat me any kind of way. Because I don't value you. I don't value me enough to cut this off. Rules of engagement. You have to grow up. You have to. You want to be treated like a queen, but you don't know what a queen is supposed to be treated like. You call yourself a queen and you allowing yourself to get cussed out. You allowing yourself to get beat down. That's not queen-like. You say you're a king. You say you're a boss. And you letting your woman just run through the streets and do what she want to do. And cuss you out and call you a punk and a bitch and a faggot and all these other stupid ass shit. But you say you're a king. You say you're a boss. Ain't nothing boss about that. Ain't nothing manly about that. Ain't nothing king-like about that. If they can't respect you, if they can't cherish you, if they can't add value to your life, then cut them off. And I'm not talking, it don't have to be money all the time. See, we so caught up into, man, if they can't pay for my bills, it ain't their fucking responsibility to pay your bills. And I hear so many women talking about, man, he need to be able to pay my bills and help me with this. No, that's not his damn job. That's not his responsibility. He wasn't there with you when you was running up your credit cards. Why is it now that you got this guy, now he's responsible to pay your bills? No, he's not. He's there to add value to your life. Adding value to your life has nothing to do with him paying your bills. If he wants to help pay your bills, then okay. But that's not something that he should be mandated to do. He paying your bills, but he cussing you out. He paying your bills, but he's slapping the crap out of you. He paying your bills, but he's cheating on you. He's paying your bills, but he ain't respecting you. We have to grow up. Why is it that all we think we're good for is just sex? Why is it all we think we're good for is just somebody to come hold us? That's all. That's the only value I have. It's for somebody to sex me up right. And if you do that, that means you love me. That means you value me. That means you treat me like a queen. Oh, you pay my bills and you help pay my rent and you buy me groceries when I'm low, but you dogging me out. Why have we lowered our standards so much? Why is it that we don't love ourselves? Why is it that we dismiss our worth? Is that all you are? You know he's married and you still messing with him because he helps you financially? And you think you're going to win him over because you don't give him a hard time? You don't stress him out? And he complains to you about his wife stressing him out and what you do and she don't cook for him? Well, you don't know if that's true or not. He might just be gassing your ass up to make you do that stuff. And you just ignorant, you just accepting that what he said. Oh, I'm going to cook for him. I'm going to massage him. I'm going to take care of him. I take care of my kid. And he telling you all that bullshit just to have some sex with you. You don't know if his wife is doing all that for him or not. He just ain't grown up yet. So he's telling you all the stuff you want to hear to keep your ass on the string. Oh, I'm going to leave my woman. I must leave my wife. He's been telling you that for the last 5 years and he ain't left. But he come over there once a week. He come over there every other week to hit it and quit it. And you happy with that. You cool with that. Rules of engagement. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? To where we allow people to mistreat us that way. What's wrong with us when we allow people to lie on us and to deceive us? They're not deceiving us. We know they're lying when they tell us the lies. We know it from the gate. As soon as they open their mouth, we know they're lying. And we accept it and just let it go. because we don't want to stress them out. We don't want to cause no problems. We don't want to rock the boat. We just want peace. And the whole time we're dying on the inside. The whole time we're suffocating. And you know you're suffocating. You know you're dying on the inside. They're robbing you of your peace. They're robbing you of your joy. And the truth be told, you ain't have no peace in the first place. That's why you hooked up with that knucklehead. You didn't have no joy in the first place. That's why you hooked up with him. That's why you hooked up with her. Because you was on that frequency. You was on the frequency of a cheater. You was on the frequency of a liar. You was on the frequency of a narcissist. That's how they came into your life. Because you guys were on the same frequency. You may not have been doing the same acts, but you were on the same frequency. And that's why you allowed it to continue. That's why you stayed. Over and over and over. Talking about, well, I'm going to pray for him. He's going to get right. You know how many church women I've heard talk about they praying for their husband? You know how many parents have been talking about praying for their sons who locked up in the penitentiary and on dope? And man, they keep doing the same crap over and over and over and over and over and have died in that fact. Have never got their life right. Have always come to the defense of their kids who's out there grinding and stealing and doing no good. I've heard so many moms talk about this. My grandmother, I went to church with my aunt and grandmother, and my grandmother prayed over her son, my father, over and over, because he was in the penitentiary. God keep him, God's gonna protect him, God's gonna bring him to me, and God's gonna save him, blah, 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 blah. My father died, not ever coming back to church. And my grandma died believing that my dad was coming back to church and God was gonna save him, and and it never happened. It never happened. And so we allow these people to continue to use us, continue to dog us out. And we got this hope, this false hope, this pseudo hope of, man, I'm going to keep holding on to this negative person. I'm going to keep holding on to this toxic person. Damn that, cut their ass off. They don't want to change. You can't make them change. And so many women talk about, man, he just needs a good woman by his side. If I just love him right, he'll get off the streets. If I just love him right, he'll leave them homies alone. If I just love him right, he'll leave the tramps alone. If I just love him right, he'll stop going in and out of prison. The devil is a lie. No, he's not. Why? He has to want to change. And he wants to change whether you in his life or not. Yes, you may be the catalyst to help him change if that's what he wants to do. But most of those people don't want to change. I look at so many women who have guys in their lives. The woman goes to work. The guy don't work. Don't want to work. Sits at home playing video games all day, every day. He sits at home hanging out with the homies, drinking and smoking. He sits at home watching soap operas, telling her what happened, recording all the soap operas for her. He don't cook. He don't clean. He don't do nothing. Don't take out the trash. Don't really watch the kids. But she's thinking, man, he's going to change. He's going to become a king. No, he's not. Why? Because you've enabled him. You showed him he don't have to change. You know he's a tramp. You know he's a hoe. And you're telling him, by you staying with him over and over and over, you're telling him he don't have to change. Every time he lied to you, every time he cheated on you, every time he put his hands on you, every time he choked you or slapped the dog shit out of you, and you stay with him, you're telling him he don't have to change. He could stay that way if he wants to, because you're going to ride or die with him. And you call yourself a boss. You call yourself a queen because you riding with this knucklehead who's abusing you emotionally, who's abusing you physically. We're talking about rules of engagement. Women, it don't take a guy 5 years to figure out if you wife material. I'm gonna say that again. It does not take a guy 5 years, 10 years, 3 years to determine whether or not you're queen material, to determine whether or not you're wife material. I know so many women who've been engaged or sleeping with this dude, waiting to get engaged, waiting for him to buy her a ring. And it's like, sis, how are you expecting him to buy you a ring and he ain't working? He ain't got no money coming in. He ain't doing nothing. And you think all of a sudden he's going to wake up one day and go buy you a ring? With what, your money? He ain't bringing nothing to the table except some dick and a little tongue. And you happy with that. To each their own. To each their own. But he ain't showed you that, man, I'm going to marry you and I'm going to go to work and provide for you and do this and do that. Because he ain't, that's not his frequency. That's not his mindset. So you doing all this stuff. You paying all the bills. You getting up every day and going to work and dealing with knuckleheads and we'll do a stressed out job. And then you got to come home to this grown ass kid who's mad because you won't buy him some cigarettes, who's mad because you won't get him no weed or go get him a bottle, or because you ain't got the money to get him a bottle, or you ain't got the money to get him some weed. So he won't stress you out. And you gonna cave in because you sick and tired of hearing his mouth. So instead of you paying the bills or doing something for your kids like you should be, you gonna get him his bottle. You go get him some freaking weed. Just to shut him up. Just so that you can have some peace. And you ain't got no peace. We're talking about rules of engagement. What's up with you, Gregory? Man, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. Ain't nothing wrong with being alone. Man, damn it. I would rather be alone than being in this toxic ass environment. This toxic situation. So many of us are scared of being alone. So many of us are terrified of starting over. And yet we're miserable and suicidal and so depressed and we're popping pills and doing all this crazy stuff just to cope. We're in this negative environment. And we're doing this crazy stuff just to cope. We're tired of living. We're tired. You ain't even living yet. You're tired of existing. I'm going to say that again. You haven't even lived yet. You don't even know how to live. All you've been doing is existing. You're existing. And you're barely doing that. And we're tired of just existing. We're tired of just going through the motions. Why? Because we're out of alignment. Because we don't understand the rules of engagement. What are the rules of engagement? Man, I have to love me. Rules of engagement. Man, I have to connect with God, with the source, with universe, the most high, universal consciousness, whatever you want to call it. I have to be connected. You can't live life and not be connected. I'm going to say that again. You cannot live life being disconnected from universal law, being disconnected from God, the most high, universal consciousness, whatever you want to call it. You cannot live like that. All you can do is exist. You cannot reach your full potential without being connected. We have to grow up. We have to understand who we are. We have to learn, man, I've made some bad decisions. I have to love me. I have to learn how to forgive me. And because I love me, I'll forgive me. Because I love me, I'll stop being so hard on me. Because I love me, I'll stop judging and criticizing and putting myself down and calling myself a failure and a fuck up and miserable and woo-doo-doo. I'm never gonna be happy. I'm never gonna be married. I'm never gonna find my queen. I'm never gonna find my key. All the stupid stuff we say. Why? Because we're not connected. I'm always gonna be broke. This is just a lot in my life. I'm always going to be like this. I'm always going to be angry. I'm always going to be suicidal. I'm always going to be depressed. I'm always going to pop in pills. Because you don't know who you are. Because you're not connected. What's up with you, Prince? What's up, David? You're not connected. You're connected to that negative crap. You're connected to that toxic family. You're connected to that negative drama woman. You're connected to that dude who acts more like a bitch than most women. We have to grow up. And some of these dudes out here are more... Some of these dudes out here, Pac said it. Some of these dudes out here are straight bitches. You know what I mean? They act more womanly than God, than women. And when I say womanly, I'm not... They sit there with all the gossip crap. They sit there with all the backbiting crap. They sit there with all that petty, stupid shit. Jealous and mad because you got this and you got this. Man, we ain't got time for that, family. Grow the hell up. Why are you so scared to cut somebody off? Why are you so scared to cut your family members off? Why are you so scared to cut this dude off? Why are you so scared to cut this woman off? Think about this for a second. It's something God had to show me. God had to show me, Elijah, you value this woman more than you value me. And I was like, no, God, no, I don't. God, you're lying. I'm challenging God. I'm rebuking God. I'm calling God a liar. Because he's telling me that I value this woman more than I value God. And I'm like, no, I don't. How can I value this woman more than I value you? He said, because you know she's toxic. You know she's negative. You know she ain't the one for you. And yet you won't cut her off and get in alignment with me. Yet you won't cut her off and come back to me. And so you put her up on a higher pedestal than you put me. You worship her more than you worship me. You value her more than you value me. Because if you value me more, you would cut her ass loose. If you value God more than you value this dude, you would cut his sorry ass loose. But you value this dude who ain't doing anything but bring you negativity and drama. You value this woman who's just so dramatic and just messed up. You walking on eggshells. You doing everything you can for her, and she still ain't happy. She ain't supposed to be happy with what you're doing. She ain't happy because she ain't happy with her. There's nothing you could do to make her happy. There's nothing you could do, sis, to make him happy. Happiness comes from within. Happiness comes from within. There's a whole lot of people that have all the money in the world and they're miserable. They're suicidal. They're depressed. Because happiness is not about what you buy. Happiness is not about what you're able to get. Because all rich people should be happy. And the truth is, every one of us knows so many rich people who died from overdose of drugs. Why should happy rich people be popping pills and snorting drugs and all this other stuff? And they got all this money at their disposal. If anybody should be happy, quote unquote, it should be rich people. And yet rich people are putting bullets in their head. Yet it's rich people who's committing suicide. It's rich people dying before their time because they're not happy. So it's not about the material stuff. It's not your job to make the other person happy. It's your job to make yourself happy. It's your job to maintain your peace of mind. It's your job to maintain your joy. I hear so many women tell me, man, it's my man's job to make me happy. No, the fuck it ain't. Just like it ain't your job to make him happy, because you can't make each other happy. You have to be happy with yourself. Me and my queen. I love me. I value me. I have my own joy. I have my own peace. She brings her peace. I bring my peace. I bring my happiness. She brings her happiness. I bring my joy. She brings her joy. And we blend it together. But I don't go to her and expect and demand her to make me happy. That's my job. That's my job. I don't go to her and expect her to give me peace of mind. She can't give me peace of, no matter what she do. She could have the best sex in the world, and that's still not gonna give me peace of mind. It'll give me satisfaction at the moment. And afterwards, my mind is going right back to all my issues. What's up with you, Empress? We have to grow up. We have to understand the rules of engagement. Who are you? Why are you here? What is your purpose? Your purpose is not to be a doormat. Your purpose is not to be used and abused and stepped on and run through the streets. Your purpose is not just to be violated sexually and just used sexually, as though you don't have a mind, as though you don't have opinion, as though you have no other value other than sex, other than you cooking for me, other than you cleaning up behind me, other than you paying my bills. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to stop playing these little childish games. What's up with you, Sean's workout? We have to understand that it is your job, not your pastors, not your preachers, not your teachers, not your mentor, your life coach. It's nobody's responsibility to make you happy. Nobody's. And so many people are looking for sex. So many people are looking for love. So many people are looking for that quote unquote relationship. Why? So they can be happy. So you can finally have some joy. If that was the case, why is it that so many people that are married wish they were single? So many people that have people in their life wish they were alone. Wish they weren't in that relationship. Because it's not about the relationship with another person. It's about a relationship with yourself. It's about a relationship with God, with the Most High. Universal consciousness. But because we don't understand that, we go looking for a relationship with everybody else. So we jump in all these relationships looking for happiness, looking for love, looking for peace, looking for satisfaction, and you're never going to find it. Why? Because it's not in somebody else to give it to you. My peace is only for me. And what I mean by that, people come around me all the time. People want to be in my presence all the time. Why? Because I'm so calming. Because I'm calming. It allows them the opportunity to exhale. It allows them opportunity to talk and get some stuff off their chest. But I can't bring you peace. I can't bring you joy. I can just be me. I can just be me. You have to do the work. You have to put in the work. I can have all the joy I want. If you haven't put in the work, I don't care how much you're around me, you're always going to have issues. You're always going to be miserable. You're always going to be frustrated. You're always going to be full of anxiety. You're always going to be full of fear, worry, doubt, anger, depression, and all these other issues. Why? Because you're trying to live off of my energy and you really can't. You can't. Because you wasn't meant to be able to live off my energy. My energy is just to give you some hope and to give you some light, to show you how to get there. You have to go within yourself for that energy. You have to be tapped into God, to source the Most High. And so many people come to me as wanting me to be a life coach and mentor, and all they want to do is just feed off of my energy. And you can't. That's why I trip out every time I hear these spiritual minded people. These people just draining my energy, and these people are just energy vampires, and they're just doing this and that, and I just can't be around them. Blah, blah. No, they can't drain your energy. What the hell are you talking about? You don't know what the hell you're talking. You heard some stupid stuff on YouTube, or you've heard some other person talk about they're just energy vampires and they're just draining me. And what you? No, they're not. They can't drain you if you're tapped into universal consciousness. They can't drain you if you're tapped into infinite love. How can they drain you if you're tapped in? You're tapped into infinity. How can they drain infinite consciousness? How can they drain infinite love, infinite wisdom, infinite knowledge? They can only drain you if you're not tapped in. Man, we have to grow up. We have to grow up and understand who we are. We have to grow up and say, man, I gotta take care of me. That doesn't mean that I stop caring for the world. That doesn't mean that I just turn my back on life and on humanity and become a hermit. It means that, man, I have to be tapped into infinite love. I have to be tapped in to God, the Most High, universal consciousness. Why? So that I could give my light. So that I could be a beacon for humanity. A beacon of hope, a beacon of love, a beacon of compassion. Man, we have to grow up. We have to understand who we are and why we're here. You see, we don't want to do the work. We don't want to go into our subconscious mind and understand why we have the issues we do. We look at this stuff and then we dwell on it and we get fixated with it. I love psychology. I love psychology. And if you've been with me for a minute, you know that. You know what I mean? I love psychology. I love studying the mind, you know? But one of the things that I don't like about psychology is that we put a label on everything. As mankind, we always want to identify something. Oh, I have ADHD. Oh, I have this, and that. That's why I'm this way. Oh, I have this. That's why I'm this way. Oh, my family, we just have this thing of we just drink a lot. My great grandpa was a drunk. My grandpa was a drunk. My daddy was a drunk. I'm a drunk. Oh, I got my anger issues from my great grandma and we just passed it down the genes. Oh, I'm this way because of my daddy. I'm this way because of my mama. No. No, you're that way because you choose to be that way. You're that way because you choose to be that way. You're that way because you refuse to do the work and grow up. You're that way because you stuck on being a victim. You're that way because you don't know how to change. And you got complacent in being stuck. You got comfortable in the rut. You got comfortable in the rat race. You got comfortable in the hood. And so you stayed there at that mentality. It's a trip. When you look at Snoop, and you look at Dre, and you look at Ice Cube, and all these people that was from the hood, man, they got their money and got up out the hood. Nobody stays in the hood that's got the opportunity to get out the hood. But we got comfortable there. We got stuck there. We don't want to put in the work to get up out of there. Just like we don't want to do the work to get out of our own head. Just like we don't want to do the work to take control of our emotions. Rules of engagement. Why is it that society doesn't teach us this stuff? Why is it that our pastors and our teachers and our political leaders and all these other gurus, why is it nobody's talking about this stuff? They talk about everything else, but nobody's talking about, man, we gotta free our mind. We gotta free ourselves from our ego. Everybody's talking about just pray and pray and pray, and everybody's talking all this other stuff. They're talking about what's going on in the world. They're talking about all this other foolishness, but nobody's talking about, man, eliminate the ego. Nobody's teaching you how to deal with your trauma. Nobody's teaching you how to get past your childhood baggage. Nobody's teaching us how to become the greatest version of ourselves. Why is that? Why aren't we talking about those things? Why aren't we liberating ourselves? We go to war to liberate all these other countries. We'll go liberate Iraq and Afghanistan and Kuwait and all these other places, but we won't liberate ourselves. We won't liberate our minds. We won't liberate that little kid within us that's crying out for help. That little girl in you that's dying and crying and everybody ignoring her. That little boy in you that's crying and wanting you to love him and acknowledge him and you're ignoring him. Every one of us have a little boy within us. As far as men, every one of you women have a little girl within you. And if the truth be told, we're killing them. We're killing that little boy, that little girl within us. They have all these dreams and all these aspirations and all these goals they want to accomplish, and we're killing them with our foolishness. We're smothering them. Why? Because we don't love ourselves. We don't value ourselves. And so we allow everybody else to mistreat us. We allow everybody else to dog us out. We allow everybody else to bring all their negativity and all their foolishness, and we just become a dump ground for the world. Just dump all your issues on me. Just dump all your baggage and your negativity on me, and we're toxic and become a cesspool of just negative thinking. And we wonder why we're so miserable. And we wonder why we don't have no joy, because we allow everybody to bring their foolishness and just dump it on us. Why am I so lonely? Why am I so frustrated? Why am I so miserable? Look at what you're entertaining. Listen to the stupid stuff that's being spewed into you. Listen to your negative self-talk. What are you saying about yourself? What do you believe about yourself that's so negative and toxic? In psychology, we call it monkey chatter. Man, all the yeah. And it's all negative, toxic crap. I knew I wouldn't be good. I knew I wouldn't be successful. I knew I wouldn't amount to anything. I knew I was going to fail at this. I knew this wasn't going to work for me. I knew this was going to go bad. I don't have good luck. I just have bad luck and blah. And we talk all this negative crap all day long. And we wonder why we're so depressed. How come I can't be happy? How come I can't find love? Why? Because you're looking for love in all the wrong places. You're wanting some guy, you're wanting some woman to love you when you don't even love yourself. Talking about rules of engagement. We're at war and don't even realize it. We're fighting a battle and don't even realize it. And the battle that we're fighting is that little kid within us, that little child within us that's always been there. They're trying to grow up and become the best version of themselves. They're trying to grow up and be all that they came here to be. And we, in our ignorance, we're killing them and we're going to war with them on a daily basis with all the negative stuff that we're taking in, with all the negatives that we're constantly telling ourselves, with all the toxic crap that we're putting into our bodies. We're at war with ourselves. How can you love yourself when you're at war with yourself? How can you value yourself when you're at war with yourself? We don't even know who we are. We know everything about all these other people, these entertainers and these race car drivers and these basketball players and all these entertainers. We know all their stats. We know all about them. We know all about our favorite writers and authors and singers and all this other, but we don't know who we are. We don't know who that little girl is within us. We don't know who that little boy is that is within us. We completely ignored them. We completely dismissed them. We completely devalued them. And then we wonder why am I always getting mistreated? Why am I always getting stepped on? Why am I always getting abused? Because you're abusing yourself. You're doing the exact same thing to yourself. And all these people that they're mistreating you, all these people that are devaluing you and cussing you up and doing what do, man, universe, God, the Most High is trying to show, man, that's what you're doing to yourself. That's what you've been doing to that little kid within you for years, for decades. Look at how many times you devalued and dismissed that little girl within you crying out to you. How many times have you turned your back on that little boy within you? How many times have you ignored their plea for love, their plea for acceptance, their plea for forgiveness? Their plea for love and compassion. Their plea for you to change your life. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to understand who we are and why we're here. And you can only get that understanding by going within. You can't get that from politics. You're not going to get that from religion. And most of us ain't getting that from our family. You get that from going within you. From going within you. From going within you. We have to grow up. We have to understand the power that we possess. We have to understand that everything is always working out for our good. We don't see it. We don't understand it. We look at all this bad stuff happening to us. We look at all these people dogging us out. We look at all these people mistreating us and cussing us out and disrespecting us and cheating on us and we get so mad at these people for doing all this stupid stuff to us. And we take on a victim mentality. And what God is saying to you is, listen, shut up. This is what you're doing to yourself. You're mad at him for disrespecting you. You disrespect yourself. You're mad at her for cheating on you. You're cheating on yourself. You're cheating yourself. You're mad at them because they don't love you. You don't love yourself. You're mad at them because they won't spend quality time with you, but you won't spend quality time with yourself. How can you get mad at other people for treating yourself or treating you the same way you treat yourself? I'm going to say that again. How can you get so pissed off and so angry at other people for treating you the same way you treat yourself? The trip is we don't even realize that we're treating ourselves that way. That's why we're mad at everybody else. That's why we get pissed at everybody else. When you start taking care of that little kid within you, you start loving and valuing that little kid within you. You become one with that little kid within you. You'll stop getting dogged out. You'll stop getting mistreated. You'll stop getting disrespected. You'll stop getting taken advantage of. Because all those things happen to teach you a lesson. Everything we go through in life, every experience we have is to teach us something. Every experience we have is to help us reach our full potential. We don't learn the lesson because we're not tapped into infinite knowledge, infinite wisdom. We're not tapped into source, the most high, whatever you want to call it. So we don't see the lesson. Why are we such a victim? Why are we so victimized? Why do we victimize ourselves? Why do we devalue ourselves? Why do we disrespect ourselves? Why do we put ourselves down? Why can't we forgive ourselves? Why can't we cherish ourselves? Man, we got to get together. We have to get it together, family. Man, your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, your ancestry is depending on you to get it together. You got to get it together. You got to make the change. Michael Jackson had a song out, Man in the Mirror. I love that song. Talking to the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror. The woman in the mirror. You want love in the world? Be more loving. You want more love in the world? Learn to love yourself. You want more peace in the world? Learn to be at peace with yourself. You want more joy in the world? Learn to have joy with yourself. Learn to enjoy your own company. You want more giving in the world? Learn to give to yourself. Give yourself the love it needs. Give yourself the breaks you need. Give yourself the pat on the back you need. Give yourself the permission to make mistakes and to continue to grow. Give yourself a pass. Man, we got to get it together. That's why we came here. That's why we came here, to have these hard, heart-to-heart conversations. And it's hard having these conversations because, man, we're so messed up and we don't know where to start. You know what I mean? We're so twisted and so caught up in the game. We're so caught up in the rat race, chasing the bag and chasing all this other stuff. I ain't got time to deal with me. I ain't got time for the little girl within me. I ain't got time to deal with the little boy within me. Because I'm trying to make this money. I'm trying to make this relationship here work. I'm trying to be successful on my job. I ain't got time to meditate. I ain't got time to love myself. We have to wake up. We have to wake up. My hope and prayer is that, man, Nothing else becomes more important. Nothing else is so important as to you dealing with your emotions. You learning to love that little kid within you. That is the most important thing in life, family. It's not about your career. It's not about your education. It's not about your money. It's not about your status. It's about you loving yourself. There's people that got all the money in the world and have committed suicide. It's not about the money, family. Money is nice. What good is having all that money and you blowing your brains out? What good is having all that money and you've been so lonely and so brokenhearted and so suicidal, you ending it all? Man, the most important thing in life. The most important thing in life is you learning to love yourself. You learning to love yourself. And see, when you love yourself, you forgive yourself. When you love yourself, you won't be so hard on yourself. When you love yourself, you'll stop mistreating yourself. When you love yourself, you stop disrespecting yourself. When you love yourself, man, you can do everything you can to take care of you. When you love yourself, you'll have rules of engagement. You won't allow other people to mistreat you. When you love yourself, you won't allow other people to dog you out. When you love yourself, you won't accept any toxic as negative relationship with other people. You get that because that's the frequency you're on. You get all that negativity because that's the frequency you're on. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow, but it is what it is. Grow up. You don't love you. You don't love that little kid in you. You ain't listening to that little kid within you. You ain't tapped into that little kid within you. You don't value that little kid in you. That's why you get treated the way you do. That's why you get treated the way you do. It's not their fault. Instead of you being mad at that dude for dogging you out and for breaking your heart, you should be thanking him. Why? Because he's showing you that, man, I hurt you, but the purpose of this hurt is for you to learn to love yourself, for you to learn to forgive yourself, for you to learn to value that little girl within you, for you to learn to value that little boy within you. That's why you go through all the pain you go through. That's why you go through all these toxic relationships, for you to learn to value and love and cherish and forgive yourself. That's the reasons for those lessons. But we have a victim mentality. We're mad at them. We're angry at them. We're calling them narcissists and all kind of other stupid, crazy shit. Because we don't want to grow up and acknowledge they're a mirror of me. They're a reflection of me. What I get from you is a reflection of how I treat my little kid in me. The way you disrespect me, the way you dog me out, the way you cuss me out, and we do, that's how I treat the little kid in me. The way you don't have time for me and you disrespect me, blah, blah, blah. You ignore me, da, da. The way you treat me is the way I treat me. I talk about frequency, energy all the time. All the time. That's the energy you're on. That's the frequency you're on. And it's not to punish you. It's not to dog you out. It's to get you to understand, man, I have to love me. I have to be responsible for my joy. I have to be responsible for my peace. I have to be responsible for my sanity. I have to be responsible for loving myself. That's why I came. That's why you came. To learn to love yourself and to show others how to love themselves. That's why you came. To fall in love with you. I trip out. How we want all these people to fall in love with us. And we don't even know us. We want all these people to fall madly in love with us and to put us up on this pedestal and to worship us and to think so highly of us. And we don't even think that way about ourselves. And we don't think that way about ourselves. And that's why we're looking for it externally. That's why we need so much external love. Because we're not tapped into infinite love. Because we don't love us. So I need you to love me. Because I don't know how to love me. Because I refuse to love me. So I need somebody else to value me. I need somebody else to appreciate me. I need somebody else to cherish me because I don't do that for myself. I need somebody else to lift me up and to pump me up because I don't do that for myself. I need somebody else to tell me, man, you're good and you're solid. And man, I'm proud of you. Man, look at all that you've gone through. Man, and we need somebody else to gas us up because we don't know how to pat ourselves on the back. We don't know how to appreciate all the things that we've gone through. Because we've refused to learn the lesson. We've refused to see that there was a lesson. And so we think that, man, these people are just dogging me out. We think that we're just being punished by God or whatever. God, source, the universe, Allah, whatever you want to call it. Man, they just have it out for us. They just have it out for me. And I'm just cursed and I'm doomed and I'm damned and blah, 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 blah. No, you just don't love you. You just don't love you. I get asked, how do you become a chosen one? What is a chosen one? How do I get on the frequency to be a chosen one? Everybody's talking about being a chosen one, and nobody knows how to be a chosen one. Everybody's talking about being a chosen. They're chosen. Their third eye is open and they're woke and blah. They're talking all this stuff because that's the fad. That's the latest thing to talk about. But you don't hear too many people telling you how to get there. You hear all these people talking about, man, to be chosen, you got to be part of the 144,000. You got to be black. You got to be this and all this stupid shit. No, to be chosen, you just got to love yourself. You got to be connected with yourself. You got to be connected to the Most High, to the universe, to consciousness, to the little kid within you. You have to get on that frequency. Now, I know this is going to piss some people off because it goes against their dogma. It goes against their religious, stupid teachings. It goes against their racial, stupid stuff that they spew. To be chosen is a self thing. How can you be chosen and you don't even choose you? I'm going to say that again. And I hope you catch that. In order to be a chosen one, you have to first choose you. That's how you become a chosen one. You choose you. You looking for everybody else to choose you. You looking for a king to choose you. You looking for a queen to choose you. You looking for this job to choose you. Your boss, you looking for everybody else to choose you. But you won't choose yourself. How does that work? To be a chosen one, you have to first choose you. That goes against all of our teachings. That goes against all of our religious thoughts. You know what I mean? You have to choose you. You have to love you. You have to value you. You have to love you. That's what it means to be chosen. I choose me. I don't give a damn who choose me or not. I choose me and I'm good with that. I choose me. I love me, so I'm loved. I don't matter whether anybody else loves me or not. Because I love me. I value me. I cherish me. And that's all the love I need. Once I get on that frequency, now other like-minded people come into my life. Now they see it. I get on that frequency of love. So many of us talk about, man, I love me and I value me, but we don't even talk about the little kid within us. We don't connect with the little kid within us. We don't connect with God, Source, the Most High, whatever you want to call it. You don't even know you. How can you love you? How can you be connected to you? How can you be chosen? How can you be woke? How can you be enlightened? How can you be Christ conscious, God conscious, Buddha conscious, whatever else you want to say, if you ain't even tapped into the kid within you? You ain't even tapped into infinite love. How can you have these things? How can your chakras be perfectly aligned and you be all that and yet you don't even know you? You ain't even chose you. You choosing everybody else but you. It's like whenever I was in elementary and we played games, handball, kickball, whatever, baseball, basketball, I was very athletic. And so I was always the first person to choose, or I was always a captain, right? And so nobody want to be that last little kid that's left standing. That nobody wants. You the kid standing there, pick me, pick me, pick me, and nobody's picking you. Nobody wants you on their damn team. Nobody values you. They don't value you. And so you're standing there jumping up and down, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. And that's what we do to ourselves. That little girl within you, that's that last kid standing. You done picked everybody else, and you ain't picked her. That little boy standing inside you, you done picked every other dude. You done picked every other woman, but you ain't picked yourself. Camera's like, it's a little glare because of the sun, but it is what it is. Man, we have to get it together. We have to learn to. We've been taught to put everybody else in front of us. Taught to put everybody else before us. And we won't put ourselves up. Babe, can you close this blind, please? You're good. This one right here. You're good, babe. It's not going to get you. She don't want to get on the camera. But, man, we have to grow up. Thank you. We have to grow up. You know what I mean? We have to understand that, man. And I say this, you have to become selfish in that regard. Not selfish in the aspect of, man, F the world and I'm not doing that for you. Man, you have to become, man, I got to take care of me. I have to love me. I have to get to know me. I have to value me. I have to have rules of engagement. I have to have healthy boundaries. When I love me, I have healthy boundaries. When I love me, I'm connected to that little kid within me. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Just take some time to get to know, to get reconnected with that little girl within you, to get reconnected with that little boy within you, who had all these dreams, all these goals, all these aspirations of what they wanted to do and what they wanted to accomplish in life. Get to know that kid again. Fall in love with that person again. Spend some quality time listening to them. And watch how your life changes. Watch how everything about you change. Watch how you start manifesting being a quote-unquote chosen one. Watch how you start manifesting quote-unquote being woke, being enlightened. Why? Because those things are a state of mind. They're a frequency. They're an energy. You can't be woke and not know that little girl in you. You can't be woke and not know that little boy in you. What the hell are you woke to? You know all this stupid crap, but you don't even know who you are. Man, may you learn to fall in love with yourself. May you learn to rediscover who you are and why you're here. May you cherish that little boy, that little girl within you. And in so doing, watch how your life changes. Watch how your emotions change. Watch how your state of being change. Watch how your frequency change. Everything in life is about energy. Energy. What frequency are you tapped into? What frequency are you tapped into? We're tapped into all this other stuff. And again, that little boy, that little girl is jumping up and down. Pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. Man, spend some time with me. Hey, hear me, hear me. Hey, I'm over here. Hey, how come nobody's listening to me? How come nobody's valuing me? How come nobody's talking to me? How come nobody's loving me? How come nobody's listening to me? Whoop-de-whoop-de. That little kid is dying and crying and nobody hears them. Nobody's paying attention to them. Because we're so fixated on all the noise. We're so fixated on all the drama and the traumas of life. We're so fixated on all the politicians and all the religious crap that's been spewed. We're so mesmerized by these entertainers and news and all this other stupid shit. We can't even hear that little kid within us anymore. Oh, we come with Scorpio lady. We're going in tomorrow. I already know what we're talking about. We're going in tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Man, but we got to get it together. We got to get it together. Man, family, I hope and pray that I've said something that has helped you, that's going to help you, or that is helping you. You know what I mean? I hope that something has been said that resonates with your spirit, that resonates with that little boy, that resonates with that little girl within you. And it inspires you, challenges you to get it together. Because you're worthy of it. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be valued. You deserve to be respected. You deserve to reach your full potential. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve joy. You deserve to be happy. And you can be all day, every day. Because it's a frequency. It's a frequency. And you choose to be on that frequency, or you choose to be on another frequency. It's always your choice. And it's always just a choice away. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.